The Tinubu administration has set 6 key priority areas for the Ministry of Education, which include promoting science, technology engineering, mathematics, and medical sciences education, reducing the number of out-of-school children, enhancing technical and vocational education and training, advancing girl-child education, harnessing data and digitalization, and strengthening of quality assurance mechanisms. The problem of out-of-school children remains one of the greatest challenges of the education sector in Nigeria. Though primary education is officially free and compulsory in Nigeria, with the Universal Basic Education Commission established to create access to basic and quality education, the UN still gives inconsistent data about how many children are out of school, from 20 million to 10.5 million, and now to about 18 million children, with insecurity, poverty, and lack of infrastructure being the root causes.
At this point, should do everything that is required. Once upon a time in Rivers State, for example, the government of the day was insistent on parents sending their children to school. In fact, they said, if we find your child of school age out of school, we'll pick the child, trace him to your home, and would have you arrested. Because at that point, they had expanded base, provided more classrooms, more schools, more government schools, public schools, even across the grassroots. And it was free. It was offered for free. Free school uniforms, free textbooks, free stockings, free everything, free computers, access to computers in those schools across the state. And so you had no excuse. You couldn't say, I can't afford to pay the fees of my children.
To tackle these challenges, the government has integrated nomadic and technical skills into the education curriculum to lure more children back to school.
Today, a plumber earns more than a doctor in the UK. In America, an electrician earns more than a lawyer. That's what we want to create. Life skills. Once you have life skills, you make a lot of money.
To drive home more policies, Education Minister Dr. Tunji Alausa announced the return of the Federal Science and Technical Colleges to its original status of Federal Technical Colleges from September 2025. He has also introduced an education and digitalization initiative backed by an $18 billion credit facility from World Bank and a 6-month intensive training program aimed at equipping young people with cutting-edge technology skills.
We have clear skills. We're going to be training young Nigerians on agriculture and livestock, and as well as creative skills. And if you look at all these 7 areas, we've carefully curated them so that there are a lot of these areas that women will fit into.
The government cancelled the bilateral education agreement scholarship scheme for becoming a waste of resources, according to the Minister of Education, and this has led to diverse reactions from Nigerians. Some think it's a good move, while others believe it will soil existing bilateral relations with other countries.
I looked at all the courses. People are going there to study. A student went to Algeria to study English. Algeria, a French-speaking country, to study English. Students are going to study psychology, sociology in these countries. Courses that we have here that will do better here.
From 2023 till date, there have been no strikes embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities in Nigeria. The last strike in Nigeria lasted 8 months in 2022 and was suspended on October 14, 2022 after an order by the National Industrial Court and the Court of Appeal. But in a recent interview with Arise News, the ASU president says the delay in the implementation of the renegotiated agreements from 2009 is one of the major issues it had with the government, and the union may likely down tools if the agreement is not implemented.
We think government just needs to look at what we've agreed with their team, get back to us, tell us the things they've accepted, tell us the things that they are not happy with, and we can talk it over. And so we think this will be done quickly with this government. We have some assurances from the Honorable Minister of Education, and we hope that he will keep to his word and ensure that this thing is resolved as quickly as possible.
The introduction of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NEL) remains one of the government's biggest decisions in the education sector since President Tinubu assumed power in 2023. But it has also come under public scrutiny of recent over allegations of misappropriation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) following its disbursement of 56.85 billion naira to cover tuition fees and provide upkeep allowances during its one-year anniversary on May 24, 2024. The anti-graft agencies and the government have, however, cleared it of any allegations. But questions remain about how well the loan support has trickled down to students across the country, particularly in the South-South and the South-East regions, where many students remain unaware of the available loans. Some students say they have applied and are yet to receive any funds.
I've not heard anything about NEL fund, but as a business student, I only know what fund is.
Okay, I've not heard anything about NEL fund, but I've been hearing of students' loan, but I've not heard something like NEL fund.
I know students that applied and have not paid their school fees till now, and NEL fund is yet to disburse this money, and UNN is yet to receive it to reflect on our portal. So now we've seen that without paying our school fees, we cannot register our courses and we cannot write the exams. You get, in as much as there was a process that was set aside for it, like writing to the vice chancellor, writing to the dean, writing to the vice chancellor through the dean. But you will see that this process is long. For students that are in NEC, they'll have to travel to Nsukka to submit this letter. So there is no source, there is no means we can do it in our own campus. So these are like the issues students are facing with the NEL fund currently.
There have been diverse reactions to the recent announcement by Education Minister Dr. Tunji Alausa regarding the new policy where the objective examinations of WAEC and NECO examinations will be conducted via computer-based training testing (CBT) starting in November 2025, with the entire examination fully transiting to CBT by 2026.
We're now talking about going to the remotest part of Nigeria, the villages, those community secondary schools and the rest of them, and then trying to do WAEC by use of CBT in environments where mostly there is no light, and where you have light probably you have very serious network issues.
For the most part, government in Nigeria, especially around education, is very exuberant. They're like a young, excitable child that just would want to jump on anything that seems very colorful and very juicy. And sometimes I think they're in a hurry to speak. The Minister of Education came out to say that this is our ambition, this is our dream. It's a good dream, very credible dream. But when you think about the possibilities of going CBT with WAEC, you also remember that JAMB has been on the CBT thing with their UTME for more than 5, 6, 7, 10 years. And you begin to ask yourself, what is the success rate of that? Is it perfected yet? I don't know how well WAEC is learning from JAMB, but they would really need to go sit over with JAMB and get a sense of the success points and the challenges JAMB is still trying to grapple with.
Another major policy of the Tinubu administration is teacher training and development, with an emphasis on digital skills to enhance technology use in classrooms.
So we are expanding access for teachers to the trade. At the same time, we have also created a community of practice. The community of practice is also giving all the digital, all the OERs, the resources, online resources that you need for teaching is available at your hand. We have also other platforms. So we are addressing the problems. But then when do you expect to see the result? The result is gradual.
And every teacher in the classroom to be part of Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. They all need to be part of the council so that they can also gain in what all the council, all the teachers that have actually registered are gaining.
The education system in Nigeria is evolving with ongoing efforts to improve funding, infrastructure, and technological integration. Experts suggest exploring alternative revenue streams such as partnerships with the private sector, research grants, and alumni contributions, as well as investing in digital infrastructure to support online learning and address disruption issues. Juliet Obata, Arise News.